Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the Maxwell School gets quite the gift.
And there's a new leader in the Middle East.
And which movie star got hitched this weekend?
All that and more. Citrus TV News starts right now.
And our top story tonight is the opening of the Dick Clark Center. Oprah Winfrey came to campus today for the opening of the new Dick Clark Studios. Citrus TV's Caroline Strange is still there to tell us about the day-long event. Caroline, what's going on?
Earlier today. Well, Brian, it's completely different from when it was earlier today. It's definitely quiet. There's still a few people dismantling the set, but it was bustling with people earlier this afternoon. Today, Syracuse University celebrated the opening of their new studios.
Today marks such a milestone in innovation at the Newhouse School, but it's a school that has many milestones in innovation, as you all know.
These days, you hear the word legend used everywhere, but in reality, they're pretty hard to find. Yet whenever I hear Dick's name, legend will always be the first word that comes to mind for me.
The ceremony celebrated and honored Dick Clark and Alan Gary, both of whom have spaces in the Newhouse building named after them. But students were most excited to see the Queen of Media, Oprah Winfrey.
It's a Newhouse kind of day here. I believe that what you all have done, what the Newhouse family has done, what the Gary family has done, what the Clark family has done, is what we're meant to do as human beings. We're meant to take our lives, do the best we can, be excellent in our lives, and then use what we have been given to impact others.
The newly renovated spaces include new studios named the Dick Clark Studios and an innovative media center named after Alan Gary. The center will house a wall that is motion sensitive, similar to a touchscreen. Students are happy that they have this new space.
I think it's a great time to celebrate this new opening of this new studio, and of course as a student I want to be here to witness it. It's a great moment.
There were hundreds of people inside the Goldstein Auditorium as part of the celebration and almost 1,000 that were outside.
Caroline, thank you so much. Now, I want to ask you, there was a huge congregation of students on Waverly Avenue when she cut the ribbon. Did she interact with students or have the chance to talk with them?
Not really many people were able to speak with Oprah, although she did shake a few hands, but one student, Sean Martinelli, did get a shout out for tweeting at her directly that she should bring an orange dress.
Now, obviously, a lot of time was spent on campus for Oprah Winfrey, but did she have the chance to leave the SU community and really interact with the city of Syracuse?
Directly after the ceremony, she did make a surprise visit to the Mary Nelson Youth Center and is actually going to be donating $100,000. So we know where she was rushing off to. Live from the new Dick Clark Studios, Caroline Strange, Citrus TV News. Back to you.
Great, that's Caroline Strange at the Dick Clark Studios. Thank you so much, Caroline. And when we come back, find out which Syracuse University college will be awarded a $1 million grant.
And hear all about the first-year player's new announcement for its musical this season.
Also updates on the devastating Miami nightclub shooting.
All that and more when we come back.
Hang on to those tank tops just a little bit longer, Syracuse, because we're expecting a warm week. Temperatures were in the high 70s with mild humidity. Find out if these temperatures are here to stay during our full 5-day forecast. I'm Rachel Walski in Citrus TV News Live at 6. We'll be right back.
In a small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
And earlier today, the Maxwell School hosted a panel to discuss the increase of unaccompanied children entering the U.S. from Central America. Ambassadors from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico talked with Dean Steinberg about how to fix the issue. This summer, there was an increase of children traveling alone to the U.S. to escape violence and poverty. The panel aims to find a solution for this growing problem. And seems like there will be more panels like these in the future for Maxwell. The School of Citizenship has been awarded a $1 million grant by the Carnegie Corporation of New York to develop a program that connects policymaking and academics. The grant will help the school create a virtual boardroom where students will be able to communicate and collaborate with different institutions. The program will also host different conferences meant to connect scholars with fellows to mentor. The grant will cover the cost of the first 2 years of the program before the university will decide whether or not to continue it.
And First Year Players has announced its spring musical, drumroll, The Addams Family. The crew and producers are excited about the choice as the show embodies the family aspect that First Year Players represents. The show choice also strives away from the very serious nature of last year's production, Rent, entailed. Auditions and casting for the production will begin shortly after winter break. Producer Drew Mueller said he's most excited to take the show out of the water and make it our own. And University Union will bring Syracuse rapper Gottlieb and music artist Trippy Turtle for the first show of the Bandersnatch music series. Gottlieb is 20 years old and released his first 6 tracks to SoundCloud last year. And Trippy Turtle has signed last year and has worked with Ariana Grande, Chris Brown, Ed Sheeran, and more. Tickets are currently on sale at the Shine box office and cost $5. The concert will take place on October 14th in the Shine Underground, and doors open at 7 o'clock.
And the governor of California signed a bill into law that allows the state to be the first to define when yes means yes. The law creates requirements for colleges to follow when investigating sexual assault on campuses. As part of the law, someone who is drunk, drugged, unconscious, or asleep cannot give consent to sex. The legislation says silence or lack of resistance does not constitute consent either.
And Ferguson officials are demanding high fees for files on the Michael Brown shooting. Officials are charging 10 times the average hourly wage of employees before the press and others can see the files. This goes against the state's Sunshine Law, which allows documents to be released to the public for little or no cost if they are deemed to have public interest. When files are released, they normally uncover wrongdoing by officials. And early this morning, a shooting occurred in a Miami nightclub. 15 people were shot with over 100 shots fired. Adolescents as young as 11 years of age were inside. It's unclear whether or not the club catered to teenagers as the shooting occurred at 1 o'clock in the morning, and curfew for underage persons begins at midnight on the weekends. Investigators hope surveillance cameras will give away some clues as to those involved in the shooting.
And new Afghan President Ashraf Ghani was sworn in early Monday morning. Ghani signed a power-sharing deal with rival candidate Abdullah Abdullah. Under the deal, Abdullah takes on the newly created position of Chief Executive Officer. Despite a history of bad blood, Ghani and Abdullah are now working together to improve a war-torn Afghanistan. And U.S.-led air raids have hit several Syrian provinces. The airstrikes, which started last week, targeted ISIS group facilities, forces, and supplies. Bombs from the air raids hit a grain silo and Syria's largest gas plant. While no major damage was done to the gas plant, the grain silo caught fire, injuring and killing multiple Syrian civilians.
And thousands of protesters continue to flood the streets of Hong Kong to advocate for democracy in the city. At least 52 have been injured as police have resorted to tear gas, batons, and pepper spray to control crowds. The protesters, most of which are students, are calling for the resignation of Chief Executive C.Y. Leung following China's decision to allow only Beijing-supported candidates to run in the chief executive election in 2017. And the death toll from a volcano eruption in Japan has increased to 36 as 5 more bodies were found earlier today. The search for more hikers has been suspended as hydrogen sulfide gas is coming out of the volcano, putting rescuers in danger. Authorities estimate there were up to 250 hikers in the area around the mountain at the time of the eruption.
And when we come back, we'll find out which celebrity got married in Italy this weekend.
And learn more about the Clintons' new addition.
Those stories and more after the break.
Kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
It's so hard to believe we're a week into fall because it feels like summer. Let's head over to the Weather Center where our chief weather anchor, Rachel Wolski, has our full weather forecast. Rachel.
Well, I don't have to break out my winter jacket and boots just yet, so because we're feeling these summer temperatures right now, but it's currently a partly cloudy 79 degrees. Winds are coming from the northeast at around 6 miles per hour, so pretty mild, pretty light winds. We had a high of 80 today, around 245, and we're going to see a low later of 55, and it feels a little bit like 80 right now, so not too much different than 79, and that humidity is at 45, which is kind of on the high side for today. And taking a look into tonight, like I said, the temperature is going to drop to 55 degrees. It's going to get a little cooler, not by too much, so it'll be nice. It'll be a nice fall temperatures outside. Winds are going to come from the east at 5 miles an hour. It's going to remain partly cloudy skies, but that sun's going to go down and the moon's going to come out. And taking a look at the current temperature, Syracuse is teetering between 79 and 78 right now. Albany and Buffalo were lower in the lower 70s. Burlington all the way up there is in the lower 70s. So Syracuse right now is the highest in New York for temperatures right now. And taking a look at the current surface map, we have a cold front coming in, which is going to bring that temperature down later this evening. But it's not going to last into tomorrow. We're going to see those temperatures rise back up, very similar to what they were today. And that area is going to stay clear right now. And taking a look at the current dew points, we see Syracuse right now is at 57. It's getting on the more humid side for this time of year, so it felt a little sticky and humid out today, so you might have been a little uncomfortable. Hopefully that humidity is going to go down in the next few weeks. And taking a look at the precipitation forecast, Syracuse is in a little dry pocket right here. We're not really going to see any rain tonight. We have a 0% chance of precipitation, but all the areas around us are looking like they might see just a little bit of rain, not too much, just a light dusting. And taking a look at that 5-day forecast, we're in for a beautiful week this week. It's going to be partly cloudy all week other than Saturday. But temperatures are going to be in the high 70s, which is unusual for this time of year. But the lows are going to be in the 50s, which is nice fall weather.
So we're excited to see that, especially for this time of year, which is pretty uncharacteristic.
Great, thank you so much, Rachel. Now, I saw towards the end of the week, Saturday, it might start to rain. Is that precipitation going to continue through maybe even the beginnings of early next week?
I think we're going to see, obviously, we're going to see that a little bit of rain on Saturday. It might continue through the weekend, but you never know with Syracuse. The rain goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back. So hopefully we're only going to see it Saturday, and it's going to be brief, but you never know with the rest of the weekend.
Now tell me, in 70-degree weather, sometimes that wind can be the difference between whether or not it's a sweater or a T-shirt. What is the wind factor so far for the rest of this week? Is it going to be windy towards the end of maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or?
I think these conditions are going to last like similar today for the rest of the week. I think it's going to be very mild winds, and if there is wind, I still don't think it's going to bring it down so much that you're going to need a sweater because the temperatures are still in the 70s. But closer maybe to Friday night, Saturday morning, you might want to bring out a sweater or at least a rain jacket because you're going to see that precipitation, especially on Saturday. Okay.
Chief Weather Anchor Rachel Wolski, always, thank you so much. And now let's send it over to Nick for our ICYMI segment to fill you in on all the tech news, entertainment, buzz, and important cultural stories that you may have missed. Nick.
Thank you, Brian. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton can add a new accomplishment to her resume, grandmother. Her daughter, Chelsea Clinton, and her husband, Mark Mezvinsky, waited to find out whether the baby was a boy or a girl. Turns out Chelsea gave birth to a happy and healthy baby girl named Charlotte on Friday. Former President Bill Clinton and his wife Hillary could not be more thrilled about the new addition to the family. And actress Rita Wilson revealed that this week that My Big Fat Greek Wedding is making a sequel. Filming is scheduled to begin in January, and producer and star Nia Vardalos already began writing back in May. The new plot involves a juicy family secret and a very exciting new wedding. Critics expect the movie to be bigger, better, and fatter than ever. And this weekend, George Clooney and Amal Al-Mudun made their union official under Italian law. The ceremony was officiated by a close friend and former mayor of Rome, Walter Veltroni. The event was rather low-key, but followed with many spirited celebrations throughout the couple's three-day wedding weekend. To make the perfect ending to a perfect weekend, the Oscar winner and his bride set sail today on Venice's Grand Canal and are eager for their new adventure to begin. And history was made last night when the much-loved Fox Animation's Family Guy and The Simpsons joined forces and stirred up laughter with many controversial jokes. The animation mashup mocked everything from Family Guy's lack of Emmys to the idea that The Simpsons isn't funny anymore. Naturally, the two shows took some shots at each other during the episode, but the team-up was a successful start to Family Guy's new season. And it was a scary moment for Jennifer Lopez and actress Leah Remini this weekend when a drunk driver rear-ended their car. J-Lo's twins were also in the car at the time of the accident, but luckily no one was hurt. After the hit-and-run accident, the drunk driver continued to drive under the influence and was arrested for suspicion of drunk driving. J-Lo immediately took to her Twitter to reassure her fans that she was okay, but her new car, not so much. Looks like Moms Against Drunk Driving just got 2 new members. And the third time is the charm for actress and SU alum Vanessa Williams. The 50-year-old actress is set to wed her boyfriend of more than a year, Jim Scripp. This will be the third marriage for the actress, who has already had 4 children from her previous marriages. Vanessa Williams is more than confident with this relationship and has referred to the engagement as a blessing.
Down at the Meadowlands on Saturday, the defense kept SU in the game for a little bit, but offensive struggles doomed the Orange. But Syracuse soccer was in the mood for an upset. More on that when we come back.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our co-workers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead.
That's low, that's low.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Yes, it's extremely lame, but Syracuse just couldn't break the luck of the Irish Saturday night against the number 8 team in the country, Notre Dame. A lot of buildup for this game, though. Third year in a row that Syracuse has played a game down at MetLife Stadium. They debuted some new jerseys against the Fighting Irish, the platinum jerseys that Nike's designed for them. Early in the first quarter, or I should say in the second quarter, it was a scoreless first quarter. Everett Golson, a 23-yard touchdown pass to William Fuller, and Notre Dame took the first lead of the game 7-0. Terrell Hunt in the fourth quarter. This made it a game. Syracuse was only down 21-9 after this touchdown run from 7 yards out. The extra point was blocked. And then Everett Golson, though, later in the game to Torrey Hunter. They go up 28-9, and they win at 31-15. Here's Scott Schaefer after the game.
Well, there's no finger pointing either, you know. It's all thumb pointing right back at us. You know, if we come up short and we get 5 turnovers in a game, well, we needed 6 to win the game.
Moving on to soccer now. Syracuse played Virginia. There's Alex Bono in the pregame. Oh, he's only let up 1 goal all season. That was to Notre Dame in the loss. Now 34 minutes left in the first half. Jake Rosansky gets it. It's saved by Bono. What else is new? Saved all 4 shots on goal on the day. 10 minutes later, gets into the box, and Julian Bouchier to Emil Ekblom shoots it high right here. Check out the fan. Couldn't make the catch in the corner kick, though. Here was the lone goal of the game. Skylar Thomas gets the header. Syracuse goes up 1-0 and wins it by that score. Here's Coach McIntyre after the game.
Tonight, it kind of validates what you're doing. And to play, not just to nick a game, to play well tonight. Yes, it was close. But I thought, we played some good soccer.
NFL news now. Buffalo Bills head coach and former Syracuse head man Doug Marrone announced this afternoon that E.J. Manuel will not start the team's next game on Sunday in favor of the veteran Kyle Orton. The Bills started the year at 2-0, but fell yesterday to the Texans to drop to 2-2. Let's check out how Houston got that victory yesterday down in H-Town in Houston. It was early on. E.J. Manuel threw this pick. This is the reason why he's not going to be starting next week. J.J. Watt takes it 80 yards to the house, and the Texans grab the lead. Now in the fourth quarter, Bills down by 10. Well, there's one 80-yard play for the Texans. How about an 80-yard play for the Bills? Former Syracuse wide receiver Mike Williams makes the catch, and it's 80-yard touchdown for the Bills. Last chance here, though, 1:13 to go. You think the Bills could drive for the win, but Manuel's picked off by Daryl Morris. Houston wins it 23-17. As I said, the Bills are 2-2 now on the season. Let's head to MetLife Stadium, where it was a quick turnaround for that crew after Syracuse played there just the night before. It's a 1 o'clock game. Had to paint the Jets in the end zones quickly. Matt Stafford, second quarter and a tie game at 3. Oh, that's just poor tackling there. Jeremy Ross, 59-yard touchdown reception that put Detroit up 10-3. And now in the fourth quarter, check out this play. Stafford 1-yard touchdown run. I'm not sure the ball is across the pylon here, but they said it was a touchdown for the Lions. They go up 24-10 right there, and the Jets would get a touchdown, but it wasn't enough. 24-17 was the final score. Now moving to baseball yesterday, it was the final day of a historic career for Derek Jeter. The Red Sox had a big ceremony with his, and they gave him a plaque, they gave him the base, with his number on it, a sign from the Green Monster that says respect. And here was his last at-bat of his career. A chopper to third, an RBI base hit, kind of fitting the way Jeter's career would end on that kind of hit. Brian McCann would pinch run, and let's take a listen to the ovation. And some of the playoff matchups, guys. Wild card starts tomorrow night in the AL. The A's take on the Royals,
and the Giants take on the Pirates on Wednesday.
Now, I can honestly say, Tim, that I cried twice this weekend. I cried on Thursday when Jeter hit the walk-off, and I cried yesterday when his final game. What was his career like, in your opinion, and how does it stack up against other Yankees?
Oh, he was really the face of baseball, and now I think the question is going to be who's really going to take on that next role. And, he didn't really ask for that either. Some people think that the MLB really didn't get all of it could out of Jeter being the face of baseball. But I think baseball needs to find that next guy because, as you saw, so many people were watching that game as opposed to football on Thursday, where normally that wins out in the ratings.
Now, you mentioned MLB playoffs. Who's your pick to go all the way?
I would have to go. Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go with the Angels. They've had one of the best records all season. Mike Trout, some people think he could be the face of baseball. Could be an all-LA World Series, Dodgers and Angels. But you could also have a Baltimore-Washington World Series. So some interesting matchups that could pan out.
A Jeter fanboy is Mike Trout, so.
There you go.
See what happens. Thank you, Tim.
No problem.
All right. After the break, we'll take one more look at your weather.
And Mondays were a little bit more energetic today.
Don't go away.
Cocina a la temperatura adecuada usando un termómetro para alimentos. Mantén tu familia a salvo. Visita foodsafety.gov/español.
Learning how to kick flip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Now, I have a 9:30 tomorrow. What do I wear?
Well, you're definitely going to break out the shorts and the t-shirt for tomorrow, but you might want a sweatshirt on your way to class. It might be a little chilly in the morning, but the rest of the day, it's going to be beautiful, so you're not going to need it.
I won't need an umbrella or anything?
Nope. Tomorrow's going to be gorgeous like it was today. Maybe a little humid, so it might be a little sweaty out, but other than that, it's going to be great.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
Now, Nick, I think you're looking a little bit tired today. Don't you know what today is?
It was Oprah's big visit to campus, wasn't it?
Well, that too, but I think you need to wake up first. It's Monday, and it's National Coffee Day. If you're pulling an all-nighter tonight, you may still have some time to run down to Dunkin' Donuts and pick up your free medium roast.
Well, that would be my second cup of the day, and it looks like you've already had a few, Brian. You're looking a little bit jittery and a little bit on edge.
Maybe a little more than a few.
Well, that will do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Citrus TV News Live at 6. Make sure you check out our Facebook page for all things news. I'm Nick Cardona.
And I'm Brian Chung. Have a great night, Syracuse.